everyone, and welcome to Jack and Cat Adventures. Today we're going to be making strawberry trifle. This is one of the most requested desserts I get. It is so good. So let's start. You need a can of sweetened condensed milk. Pour that into a bowl. Make sure you get it all out. Okay, then you're going to add 1.5 cups of cold water and 1 package of vanilla instant pudding. Now, I'm using French vanilla today because that's all they had at my store. What you're going to do is you're going to pour it in here. What you're going to do is you're going to mix this until it's fully combined. Make sure you mix it good because you want all of that stuff to break up. Like there's chunks of pudding mix in here, so just make sure you do a really good job. You don't want to be biting into anything like that. Just scrape down your sides. Just seeing how it is in the middle. Now, if you make this, you're going to have to plan ahead a little bit because it does have to sit overnight, so all the flavors meld together. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, and I want it to set, just like regular old pudding. It shouldn't take too long because it's instant pudding. So I'm going to put this in the refrigerator and I'll come back with the rest. Now while your pudding is setting in the refrigerator, let's move on to the next step. You're going to need a quart of heavy whipping cream. Shake it up. Now, I know in the directions it says 2 cups, but I use 2 cups in the mix, and then I use 2 cups on top of the dessert. So we're going to do 4 cups altogether, which is the whole container. So throw it in there. And in here I added 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar. Now, if you like it sweeter, you can add more. Just don't over sweeten it because you do have like your puddings and stuff, okay? So I'm going to start this and I'm going to get this to stiff peaks. Alright, so now I've got my whipped cream all beaten up. And this is what it should look like. Just like that. Don't overbeat it. It will turn to butter. I've had that happen before. So now, let's move on to our next thing. Alright, so you're going to cut up 4 cups of strawberries and put them in a bowl. This does make a lot of dishes, but it's really, really worth it. Alright, and then we're going to put a 1/2 cup of strawberry jam. Now, as you can see back here, I have all my jam that I made today, strawberry jam, but it's not ready. It has to freeze first. So I'm going to use this jam that I got from Costco. It's delicious. It tastes like homemade. So if you're at Costco, make sure you look for the strawberry jam. Alright. Alright, and then we're going to mix this. Make sure all your berries are coated. Okay, now that sits aside. I'm going to set that aside. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut my pound cake. So let's get started with that. Okay. Now, it calls for 1 pound cake. And I just noticed that Sara Lee makes family size now. So you might get away with 1 family size, but the best part of this is the cake. So I always add extra just because that's the way we like it. So I'm going to cut this pound cake up into chunks. Okay, and just turn it over, and then just take your knife and cut down like this. Okay. And then I'm just going to cut it this way. And the reason I'm leaving it on this board is we are going to sprinkle it with apricot brandy. Now, you don't have to do that. If you guys don't like any liquor or you can't have liquor, just skip this step. You can just start assembling when it's time. But I'm going to put some apricot brandy on mine, and I don't do a lot. It's just enough to add just another layer of flavor. Okay, once I get this all cut up, I'll show you how to put the brandy on. Alright, so I cut up the pound cake, and now I have the apricot brandy, and I am just going to sprinkle a little bit on each piece, or however many we can get. You don't want it overpowering. That's the thing. You just want it to taste like something. You can taste something, but you don't know what it is. Right, that's about all you would use. Unless you really like your desserts really, really boozy, then that'll be good. So let that sit for a little bit, and I'm going to check on the pudding, and I'll get back to you. Alright, so while I was getting everything else ready, my pudding's set up. It's all set. It did really fast. So what we're going to do now is put 2 cups of your Cool Whip, heavy cream actually. Alright, and what we're going to do is we're going to fold this in. This is really light and airy. Just fold it in from the bottom over. And just get it all folded in. You might have a few streaks of the white, that's fine. Once this sits and melds together, it'll be great. Alright, so what we're going to do now is, let me just make sure I got all my whipped cream in there. That looks good. Okay, so now I'm going to put half of my pudding in the bottom of a bowl. Like that, just kind of even it out a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to sprinkle, let me make sure. Okay, so then we're going to do half of the cake. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just throw it in. Make sure that it's like all over. And then we're going to do half of the berries. And you're going to want to layer this, but you want to end with pudding on the top. So then we're going to do half of these berries. These look delicious. Oh my goodness. Just pour it on top. Okay. Now the rest of your pudding. Pound cake on. Just kind of push it a little bit. Okay. Then what we want to do is put the rest of our berries on. Spread those around. Okay, and then we put the pudding on top. Then we're going to put the rest of our whipped cream on, but I want to get a clean spatula so it looks nice and neat on top. Okay, so this looks so good. Alright, so now we're going to put the rest of our whipped cream on top. Just trying to cover up all that pudding. I'll wipe down the side when I'm done. Alright, let me just wipe that down a little bit. And then I'm just going to cut a couple of strawberries, fresh strawberries, and I'm just going to put it on top. Alright, now let me get some strawberries and we'll just decorate it up a little bit. Alright, and now I'm just going to place these strawberries around. I'm just cutting them in half. You don't even have to do this part if you don't want to. Okay. You want a little bit of the more firm berries on top. Okay. Alright, and there's your finished product. Just set it in the refrigerator overnight and it's all ready to go the next day. So let me know if you try this recipe. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And remember, you do you.